Africa, with Volkswagen scrapping for second and Gemmel and Paisley waiting in the wings. The rest of the top 10 shows a strong run by JP Damso, still leading A6, while Singh only just manages to squeeze into the first 10.
I don't know, I mean, it effectively has been an A8 rally up to now. I mean, the Africa Rally Championship, the cars, as we already mentioned, just haven't been on the pace. Serge has controlled it all the way from the front, and the only really excitement at the moment are those two Volkswagen cars.
Yes, I think Serge, you know, his whole performance has been very professional, very fast. The car's still in a good nick. Preparation obviously was very good for the event. But the dice to the end, yes, it's going to be Volkswagen. Now I wonder if at any stage there's going to be team orders, because the way they're carrying on, they could both not finish because of the speed they're going at. And if I was Gibbert, so I'd probably at some stage today decide, okay, whoever's leading now, this is the position we want to finish in. But let's see, if you leave the two of them, they'll probably destroy each other.
And in fact, from the A7 point of view, it's also a Toyota race.
I don't think there's anything in, yes, there's nobody that can challenge Etienne. In fact, the BMW is second in the class.
That's right.
And Visser du Plessis is probably third, so it's Toyota 1 and 3, and at this point in time, also the overall lead. So it's been a good day for Toyota for a change.
Fekken's Polo player was still running despite continuing problems. And Rueda, keen on another top 5 finish, was starting to give it stick too. JP Damso, well ahead in A6, only needed to keep it on the road to cash in on the points. The top car BMW of Blackman and Klaassen was running strongly and was trying to chase Lawrence for the A7 lead. But by now, Damso and Hodgson looked unassailable, maintaining just enough of a pace to maintain a safe buffer over the chasing Golfs without compromising their lead. The same could not be said of the two Golf drivers, who were going at it hammer and tongs. Keane was not completely happy with his car's performance, but he seemed to be better off than Habich, whose mechanical woes appeared to prevent him from launching a concerted counter-attack on the slim advantage Keane had. Of course, Gemmel had no hope of catching the top 3 unless one or more fell victim to a mechanical mishap. However, he was starting to post faster times and set the best result for stage 13. Perhaps he shared the view that at least one Golf would not make it to the finish. Lawrence remained in command of A7, but was embroiled in a dice with the Lancer Evo Rueda for 5th. There was no shortage of action in the stages, though. Here, Fekken again succumbs to a misfire, only to be caught by Rueda and passed. Meanwhile, A6 leader JP Damso is also on the stage and in fact caught up with the ailing Fekken just before the flying finish. The top car BMW continued to please the spectators with its oversteering antics in the hands of Cliffy Blackman, whilst holding down second place in A7 and 8th overall. Krobelaar was third in A7 at this stage, but well adrift of the BMW, while Singh remained in the top 10. Also going strongly after a well-paced rally thus far was Craig Trott in the second-placed A6 Team Total Toyota Corolla, now hoping for a possible placing in the first 10. Dean Sanders, who had been trailing Zimbabwean Hannes Kruger, had since slipped into the N2 lead in his Team Total Toyota Corolla. Further back, there was an encouraging showing by privateer Visser du Plessis in another A6 Toyota, now running 3rd in class. It would have taken a brave man to bet against Damso and Hodgson's victory at this stage, as the leading Corolla masterfully wound its way through the forests. The same could not be said of an Enzo Kuhn, now looking increasingly ragged as he tried to ward off an onslaught from a now hard-chasing Jannie Habich. Indeed, Habich was now making time on Kuhn and clearly intended taking second place. Having suffered ongoing engine problems for much of the event, the Golf seemed to have regained some of its form. Gemel's performance remained steady but swift. With little hope of improving his position, all he could hope for was misfortune for those ahead of him. Unchallenged in A7, Lorenz seemed set for a certain top 5 finish. Rueda too seemed happy with his 6th overall place at this point. And so, while the rally took on something of a processional flavour, JP Damso still looked spirited enough, despite nobody even close to rival his A6 lead. And yes, Fecken was still entertaining all with his kamikaze driving, despite ongoing problems. It's said that the forest stages in and around Amsterdam are among the best in the world, and that Serge Damso is a master of the forest stage art. Just watch the leader as he cuts and thrusts his way through the sweeps and corners, his eyes an unwavering picture of absolute concentration. Just what was Enzo thinking at this point? Having driven his heart out to get ahead of Habich, his teammate was now reading him in. Similarly, Habich's efforts to regain second place were unwavering, begging the question whether it would not have been prudent for Volkswagen to put team orders into place or risk losing both cars in battle. That, of course, would suit Gemel down to the ground. Singh, meanwhile, was playing a patience game. Toyota will have been pleased with proceedings as the rally headed for the final lunch break. Trott was one of many successful Corolla pilots, holding second in A6. Dean Sanders had consolidated his N2 lead. And third place in Class A6 still belonged to Visser Du Plessis. Zimbabweans Kruger and Rowley were in a steady second place in the Class N2 car, and another Zimbabwean N2 contender was the Corolla of Jess Watson and Dave Milner. And yes, White's Escort was still gunning it through the stages. The little Renault Clio of Ferdy Kukamoon and Richard Clark was making all the running in Class N3. In doing so, they outpaced veterans Jeff Mortimer and Jerry Chirika in the evergreen N3 Nissan Sentra. Rodney Fasaki and Carolyn Swan were leading a frenetic A5 dice that had already seen the demise of Kobus Rus's City Golf. But somehow the N4 challenge everyone expected never quite materialized. The Nels were running a distant third in the class, while a series of technical mishaps hampered the progress of the Savile Harris N4 Subaru. Michael Houghton and Craig Jennings were in the thick of things in their A5 Toy Toyota Taz, now in second behind Fasafi. And talking of A5, track racing star Gugu Zulu was flying in his A5 City Golf, dicing for the third place in class. Behind him, after a puncture, was Hinkosinati Nzimandi in an identical Golf, which soon would be grinding to a halt. Derek Lane was another Zimbabwean in the thick of things in N2 and looked good for a strong finish.
Things were going so well.
Yeah, I was going right. The first time I had a puncture, I put a wheel, I hit it again. Since I take that corner there, I hear a nose, and then it cuts off. We tried to start it, never start. Turn the engine now, it's not turning.
I see Gugu came past you. Is that when you had a puncture?
Yeah, I was putting a wheel that time. He passed me, I was putting a wheel on.
Enzo, hell of a dice today, but only with your teammate.
Yes, Serge has lost us, he's left us rather, into the distance. We really can't catch him. You know, Toyota's been outpacing us from the start. So all I have to race is my teammate, yes.
And like you said, Serge is not really out driving you, but he's driving well with him yourself, and you guys are sitting on the limit.
Yes, you know, I'm just behind him on the road. I'm watching his lines. He's driving extremely clean, you know. He's not, you know how he can be ragged at times. He's very clean, not taking any chances. I just follow the white lines on the uphills in fourth gear when his wheel's spinning.
Has there been any talk of team orders in your team at this point in time?
Well, I haven't heard any, but I wouldn't mind some.
Yeah, but you seem to be spending a hell of a lot of time working on Yanni's car this morning.
Oh, there seems to be a bit of a misfire at low RPM. Doesn't seem to be such a great bother in the stages. We're trying to fix the problem, but we've changed everything and we've had no success so far, and we'll keep on trying.
And what we all wanted to know, Strada disappeared into the night last night. What happened to him?
It was an engine problem. He had an engine failure. I haven't had a look at the car as such, but I saw him this morning. Obviously, he wasn't too happy, and we're not too happy with that, but it was an engine problem.
The biggest dice at this rally at this point in time seems to be between you two, your two eight cars. Are you looking at team orders at any time?
Look, no, not at. I won't give team orders now because I believe that we should keep the pressure on Serge as much as we can. It's only 2 minutes, and if it, you know, this morning Rueda had a flat wheel, that costed him 2 minutes exactly. So, if you're now going to let Serge just loose and let him control the whole shoot, I don't think that's the way to go at this point in time.
Serge, it looks like everything is going exactly to plan.
Yeah, actually, we've had quite a clean run from the start, and we've led the event from the start, so I just hope we can keep it together for the next 4 stages.
But I see you're still driving well within yourself, whilst your opposition is about to kill each other.
Well, they seem to be going quite well. Injo's setting some quick time in the last 4 stages. I suppose they've got a race on between each other, so...
Your car sounds perfect at this point in time. Anything wrong with it? Is it fine?
No, the car sounds perfect. This morning we just had a clutch pipe broke off in the long stage, but that's all that went wrong with the car so far.
Etienne, despite starting with a car that you weren't happy with in the beginning, you're still there leading the class by miles.
Yeah, unfortunately for some guys, unfortunately for me, they fell out. I wouldn't have been able to keep up with the A7s, you know, as it is now. But yeah, it's holding together, and you know, if I can reach the end and get some points, that's important now.
And it looks like you're in a pretty safe 5th place overall anyway.
Yeah, it looks like it. I don't know about Rueda's times behind me, because he was trying hard on the 43K, but had a flat wheel, so...
Yeah, and it looks like you lost some more time after that.
Oh, did he? Oh, all right. Yeah, then basically we're going to keep position, because Gemel's flying away from us now.